just want to tell this story. I have to tell this story, okay? I know you guys want to see my feed. I know all this crap, okay? But I have to tell this story. I have to tell this story. And she's home, and my mom's home. I don't have time to do the feed. I told you she was all excited, the doctor in the mental hospital. I have it on voicemail. She can't deny it. But to her, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I know. She gets home, and then she's saying to me, well, I'm like, you're going to have to call so-and-so. I'm not handling your meds. And the doctor did a prescription for all of your meds, and they were just filled. They're not due yet. They're not due for another couple of weeks. They're not going to be approved. It'll be too soon. But you do have new meds, right? So I was like, well, I want you to handle my meds. Mom, it doesn't work that way. That you know the deal. These people own you, okay? You're either out or you're in, but it's no halfway. Because even church mama was saying it's not good that my mom doesn't have her bottles on hand, because my mom's the type that's clumsy and she can drop stuff in her apartment and it would have gone under the stove. And the church mama was horrified at that. I'm like, yeah, join the club. I know there were times when Mom didn't take her meds because they went under the stove. And what are you supposed to do if you're not allowed to have your meds on hand, okay? Except for the attic van, because that's a controlled substance. Anyway. So I said, but I'm going to call. I'm going to see what's going on. The doctor in the mental hospital, I'm just added to my book, prescribed these prescriptions, okay? One of which, she was on an antibiotic. She was on an antibiotic that you're not supposed to stop. But does anybody but me care? No. Me and my mom care, but it's just such bullshit. So that doctor did what any mental hospital doctor would do, and he put the meds through to, a nearby pharmacy. But again, we're not handling that. But, I can go and check. I mean, I handled my mom's meds just fine, even when she was living in that apartment. Okay? We got them together. I watched her fill them. I mean, you know what I mean? Whatever. Right? I don't think it's good for someone like my mom who can, especially where she was living, and they could drop under the stove. They go on the floor. The table was right there, the stove, and I know for a fact there were times she didn't take her meds because they went under the stove. But, this is their policy, and this is what they do, and whatever. So when she got here, we have a piece of paper that says prescribed. Me being proactive and not the idiot that these motherfuckers want to make me out to be. Again, there are plenty of mentally ill people who are really smart, right? And I'm one of them. And aware and intuitive and the whole 9 yards. And I see so clearly what these motherfuckers are doing to my mom and to me. Ever since, they betrayed us by sending elder services to her apartment door because they were suspicious of me living here and her not, and they, it's like, and when the bitch who can't stand me and was trying to drill my mom, I didn't get answers from her, it's just whatever. Basically, they sent elder services when I wrote letters saying it's none of your damn business. If the person, my mom's DMH worker who brought you into my mom's life and consequently to mine wanted you to know this stuff, he would tell you. And you can ask him, and he's free to tell you whatever he wants. But people who aren't even management, aren't even whatever, just get to drill my mom while they have her alone in the car. It's bullshit. And treat me like crap on the phone and accusing me of doing things I hadn't done and saying, have you ever been involved in elder services? And I'll be honest with you, there's some real concern here over my personal outgoing message I left on my personal cell phone. And you're just pissed you had to sit through when I didn't know you were going to try to get me in the first place. Number one. Number two, I never gave you the number. Oh, why am I going to expect you to call that phone? I never gave it. You guys have my home phone. It's on the healthcare proxy as well. You have no right to be calling my fucking cell phone. And then being mad you had to sit through a long message I'd left from my mother. It's my right to do. It's my cell phone. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Turns out the doctor in the mental hospital never did. He never e-prescribed the prescription. Again, my mom's on new meds, my mom's on an antibiotic, but no one gives a fuck. In the end, her psychiatrist is just going to say, oh well, we'll just keep you on what you were on anyway. No big deal. It's equivalent. No, it's not. The doctor did it for a reason that I know, and you probably do know, but you're just going to pacify my mom. You're going to trick her. You're going to deceive her. And she's going to believe you and not believe me, or can say, what can I do about it anyway? That was the solution. My mom's not going to be on just Prolixin pills and Prolixin shot and Depakote, which would be two whatever kind of meds, but two major meds. She's going to be back on the Zyprexa because the guy in the mental hospital, but to add insult to injury, I was being proactive. I found out that night that they were almost going to close, because I had gone somewhere and come back, and they still had not. And I said, would it take this long? She's like, oh no, it didn't go through. And she had earlier left a message for that mental hospital doctor, but never got a call back. Yesterday, my mom left messages, never got a call back. So to add insult to injury, he just isn't even bothering. He did wrong, and we could file a complaint. We at least get to deserve an apology. And meanwhile, if my mom still needs the antibiotic, she doesn't have it, and she can't just start it up again. It doesn't work that way. You don't just start it up again after you've stopped it for days. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. No apology, no anything. He never got back to the pharmacist, never got back to my mom. Unreal, huh? And my mom just gets, gets, this didn't go through, just go back on what we had you on. That's what's the psychiatrist's attitude. Just be on what, when supposedly he had communicated with her. My mom thought, because I was telling her, Mom, the psychiatrist in the world can do whatever she wants when you get out. No. She talked to him, and he said that's how it's going to be, and then it's not. It's not. Not only that, I'm trying to help. Just like years ago, there was something that Auntie was all over again. Auntie was all suspicious. I was just trying to help. My mom hadn't received her tax refund in almost a year, and nobody would get to the bottom of it. And my mom would try to, and her sister couldn't be bothered, and her sister would say, "Oh, call the governor," bullshit, right? I had right to get to the bottom of it. My mom was owed like $500. I wasn't trying to usurp Auntie's authority, but in the end, that's what she thought. And then she had just recently let me stay here after being in the shelter for 6.5 months, and she's afraid that I'm trying to go over her head, whatever, because you don't care. It's been a year. It's going to be the new tax season. My mom just wants her money. My God, and you give her the runaround and blow her off. I wasn't trying to go over Auntie's head or anything, but then Auntie's going to throw me out. Wanted me out. Then that's when my mom had had enough, and she went over Auntie's head and got permission from her doctor that I could be here as her helper. Unreal shit, okay? Well, they're like that too. Remember, before that nurse left, she was like, saying to my mom, that's why she didn't honor any notes that I gave, please, out of respect, let me know if you change. No, they treat me like shit. They don't have no respect for me. And she even said, like I said, she had to get her parting shots in when she was leaving that week, like the end of the week or something. I don't even see why your daughter has to be involved in your meds at all. That's what she said to my mom. My mom was saying, I want my daughter to know what's going on. Why does she have to be involved at all? We're handling them. Oh my God, is that telling? And this was the one I had even liked in the beginning, until she inevitably showed her true colors like they all do. That's why me and Joe and Selena, we've all warned my mom, play nice because you have to, but keep your guard up. Don't trust them. Don't call them your friends. But anyway, I found out what they weren't bothering to find out, because they don't care if she goes out without her meds that night. They said, just don't take the Zyprexa. And the place wasn't going to have them to the next day anyway. But I wanted to know what was going on, and maybe they did have the antibiotic. We could have got that. And it turned out they never got the prescription. So I had my mom call over and just say, you know, that trying to let him know what's going on. We get a different nurse, and I was so pissed. I was on the bus, and I'm like, I cannot deal with this. I need to move out. This is bullshit. And my mom is trying to explain that what I had found out to this little nitwit twit, okay? And all she kept saying was, oh, so-and-so, her co-worker's going to handle it tomorrow. Brushing my mom aside, knowing damn well it wasn't and my mom's trying to say, but Laura found this out. The person's tomorrow is gonna find out exactly what Laura knows now, and just brushing my mom aside. And that's what I found out. You know, that's all. It's like we're handling this, and you know, I'm just being completely shut out. You understand? That's why they didn't call me, even though all the other times over this past time since they started almost a year ago, 10 months, whatever, they've always called me, even when there's the slightest chance my mom might wind up hospitalized. This time, nothing. And that's the same as I don't tell them anything going on either. Why am I going to tell them anything going on when they went behind our backs and sent elder service to my mom's apartment when my mom was well? Okay, but setting that aside, it's all combined in my brain, just unreal. No apology, no explanation. The doctor didn't send he fucked up, and now my mom has to be. They were going to go along with the new regimen, but since he fucked up, just have it be how it was. It's equivalent, Samantha. And that's, my mom says, what can I do? And she says it's, Mom, you got to believe me. And I even had the pharmacist from the other day say it to her on speakerphone just to back me up, because my mom has a tendency to never want to believe me, even though I'm a college honors graduate. I am not a fucking idiot, okay? I couldn't stand that. She always believes everybody over me. Meanwhile, I'm really, really smart, okay? Oh. So that's how it stands. We get no explanation from the mental hospital doctor. Doesn't even have the courtesy to call the pharmacist who left a message, or my mom, who again left a message. And that's it. And now I have to tell my mom we got something from her saying that we ordered something from the primary care physician. Probably went and ordered the medication, but you don't go on an antibiotic after being off of it for days. You get retested and see, you know what I mean? It's like unreal. I was dying to tell you that whole story, because it all kills me, especially when my mom is trying to explain what I found out so that woman wouldn't have to wait to the next day to find out what I already knew, and this one is just brushing her aside. She's taking care of